What's up, guys? Today I wanted to kind of talk about why spin is bad. I've heard many people complain about spin but never explain why it's so bad. And I wanted to go over the history of spin and exactly talk about what led it to be so bad. Because obviously it wasn't like this from the start. So basically, back when spin was first introduced during the Tusk update, it was actually really good. It had a great amount of stun, did pretty good damage if you ask me. Um, Great moveset, buffed Tusk. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't the strongest spec. I would argue it was Hammond back then. But the main thing is it was projectiles, which no spec had ever had before. So obviously this is like a very big thing. Everyone liked using it. It was a new spec. It completely changed how the game was played. And it was great for WoW. It was great for M1 combos, had amazing amounts of stun, everything. Everyone loved it. But then the World Over Heaven came out. And this is where the stupidity starts kicking out of why this stand was nerfed so bad. So basically, since the World Over Heaven's greatest thing was with spin, instead of nerfing the World Over Heaven like they should have, like they did, they decided to nerf spin, making it cost more points, less stun. It just started going more and more and more, and it was horrible. But the thing is, they never nerfed the World Over Heaven, not once. They just kept on nerfing spin. And this is what I would say one of Uzu's and just all of the mods' worst decision ever. It completely ruined a spec, changed the entire meta. Like, spin was meta. But instead of nerfing the World Over Heaven like they have now, which is fine, But the thing is, they held the entire thing. They nerfed spin to nerf the World Over Heaven, right? But then they actually nerfed the World Over Heaven, but didn't buff back spin. This is a huge problem. It's left spin in the dumpster. It's horrible. It's unusable. It is absolute garbage. You can barely use it with anything. Oh, well, this guy's singing. But anyway, that's beside the point. It's just horrible now, and it's all because of the World Over Heaven. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen, AK's video explaining how horrible it is. Well, I won't explain why it's bad. I'll just rather explain how it got so bad, and it's sad. And it's just so stupid. Like, I don't understand why they did it. It was like such a bad decision. And now it's in the dumpster. No one will ever use spin unless it's maybe for Tusk. And it's disappointing because if you look back on it, it had so much combo potential. Everyone loved it. It was hard to get, but it used to be so good. That way, it used to be so good, and it was worth having to go through an SPR to get, it was unique, you could combo it and everything, and it was just nice to use, and now it's just a dumpster fire. But along with that, I want to talk about what it is good with, quite possibly, because surely it's got to be good with one thing, and honestly, there's not much. I have noticed the only couple of things it's good with is Hermit Purple, which if you're watching the 1v1s and not just listening to audio, you can see I'm using. And basically, it's only good with things that can stun, because as it does retain one of its old traits, and that being good with 1v, or being good with stunning, great with M1 combos. So basically, Hermit Purple's good with it, because you can hold people still and hit them with all the steel balls. But with KC, which is what I would say it's probably the best with in my opinion, is the fact that it has chop, and you can perfectly lead the M1 combos, you can perfectly aim them using time erase, leading basically to you just want to use it with KC more than anything else. Of course, there's Tusk, but even then, with Tusk, I would just recommend using something else. It's not horrible, but there are just better options, like way better options. And I would say there's arguably one more stand, and it does have a couple uses, but we'll get to that later. The one other stand I would say it is good with is probably, as surprising as this may be, Gold Experience Requiem. I've seen a couple people use it, and it's actually pretty good. I personally didn't expect it to be as good as it was, but I've seen it in action. It's actually pretty damn strong. So basically, a lot like with Hermit Purple, is since you can, you know, just stun people, aka with your counter, you can just hold them still and hit all of your steel balls, and it's extremely strong, extremely good. I would actually recommend it if you have gold experience. Definitely something new, mix it up, you know. A lot of combo potential, surprisingly. But finally, that kind of moves on from the stands, you know, since, you know, there's not many stands it's good, but the spec is horrible. This moves on to its uses, and honestly, I can only see it having two uses. That, of course, being the most obvious one being, you know, Tusk. One of the greatest stands in the game. Arguably, I'd say it's the strongest, but that's not why I'm here to debate. So basically, it's that, of course, you need spin, evolve Tusk, yada yada yada. But I want to talk about its other use. And that other use being to basically, it's great with teams. And specifically, I mean Aerosmith. Because just like everything else, if you can hold them still and hit the steel balls, they do great damage. Whether you can admit it or not, I would say it is. But another problem with spin is how it doesn't give any buffs to anything. Like if you look at just about every spec, it has in some way a buff or a passive. Now, of course, another bad spec being Pluck, which also has neither of these, sadly. But it's already guaranteed to get at least double jump, which is kind of sad that Pluck is getting attention, but Spin is not, even though Spin is worse than Pluck. So, I don't know, that's just interesting to me. And it's just, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I personally would never use Spin over Pluck, so I don't know why they prioritize Pluck. Oh god, Pluck over, you know, the lesser spec. I don't know, kind of sad to me. But along with that, many people have gave suggestions to how to fix it, and mine honestly is just revert it back. It didn't deserve to be nerfed in the first place, so why just not revert it? I mean, yeah, sure, it's a little bit stronger than it should be, but come on, boxing exists. Something that literally gives you like what? Okay, now it's not 50 extra health, but it's somewhere near that. And with that being possible, why not just revert Why not just revert it back? Why not give it its old M1 capability? It would go great, you know? And it would still lose to boxing. It would not be the best spec, so I see no negatives as to doing so. Now, for Uzu and Paragon, I don't know. If they really want to take the easy way out, just revert it. Which, no offense, but that's kind of just what they do with everything. But anyways, that's just about it. That's all I can really say without just getting into the moves of Pluck, and which that's a whole different story of just explaining why they are so god awful. Oh my god, it's dog crap. But yeah, that leads us to this conclusion. Please like and sub if you guys have some things you would like to say about Spin and what you would like to be buffed or just reverted, or any opinions you have about it. Your ideas, go ahead, comment down below, helps the videos too, so I would appreciate it. But for now, peace out guys, hope you guys have a great day.